First, I want to thank everybody before we even begin today's banquet. I'd like to say thank you to everybody that was involved. Thank you to the parents who were so patient and flexible throughout this whole season. That went through the unknown of the summer, and for simply allowing your kids to play soccer this year. Thank you for taking care of the post-game snacks, for working the concession stand during the girls' game, and for anything that I ever asked. You guys have been wonderful in how you've all helped me. And I think it's only fair to also thank Christine Vernier for helping out with concession stands for all the times that she has. It's been a huge help and something I've never had to worry about. I also want to say thank you to everybody else who helped me out as a coach this year. With me no longer being in the school, some things I had to rely on Coach Knotts much more than usual. And also a thank you to Coach Brandon Irwin for allowing our boys to work out with the girls for much of the summer. So I really appreciate all the help that I received in those areas. I'd also like to thank Mr. Eddie for all the overtime that he put in over the summer. I know that there were constant schedule changes even once our season was underway, so thank you for all the support through the chaos and for making this season possible. For a summary of our season, for all of the summer, we weren't sure if we were going to have a season. Our numbers, I think, were a little bit shaky there, we can all admit, through much of the season, through much of the summer. But it was very obvious to Coach Knotts and I that we had a very, very special group of players. Amidst the unknown, and if we'd ever really have a game to even be playing in, whether we had 10 kids, 11, 12, you guys were always showing up to each and every practice and giving everything that you had. And we knew that, geez, out of the years that we've coached, we've never had a group that has worked out as hard as you guys. And it was incredibly impressive. It was very impressive for everything that you did, and I couldn't have been happier on how it paid off through the season. We made it through a full season with 13 kids. I know Gus joined us, I think, after about 2 games, so we were at 12 there for a little bit. But that's really a testament to you guys and your hard work. I know Coach Knotts worked you out really hard, and so that we could stay as healthy as we could. And that wouldn't have been possible, though, if you guys didn't do your full effort there in those practices. We had and I did want to mention before, when it comes to staying healthy, that I've had 4 guys on crutches before. And so for us, that wouldn't have ever been possible. You guys did every work in order to stay healthy and give your all in a game. And it paid off. Had our first winning season for Carrollton in quite some time, finishing at 8-7-1. I know the last team that had as many regular season wins as us was in 2009, when that team had finished at 8-8. So I'm really thankful that you guys have something that you're always going to be able to hang your hat on. You had Carrollton's first winning record. You were above 500 at 8-7-1. So congratulations with that. And I also just wanted to say that I'm just proud of you guys. Just to reiterate that one more time. I know this was a tough season, and you guys accomplished probably more than what I ever thought was possible. So I hope that you're all proud with all of the accomplishments that you have made. The next thing that I would like to do is go through our EBC Scholar Athletes. In order to be awarded this honor, you need to have a 3.4 GPA and to have lettered this sports season. So as I call your name, you guys can walk up, and I will hand you that certificate. Once you have that, you are welcome to go back to your seat. So first, I have Jacob Ford, Gus Pesta, who is not here today because he's at Buckeye, Adam Bennett, John Pesta, Quentin Rosenberger, Justin Thompson, Dennis Linhart, Lawson Irwin, and Keegan Warner. with our letter winners. We're going to start with our first year letter winners and then progress through to our 4-year letter winners. When you guys have your name called, you can come up. Coach Knotts will give you your letters, and you guys can then stay up here on the stage over to the side. So my first letter winner is Keegan Warner. Keegan, you can come on up. Keegan kind of got the short end of the stick a little bit with us not being able to have a JV team. But that doesn't mean that his hard work and all of your improvements were not noticed. Keegan came to every conditioning practice and showed great improvement from the very first week. Anytime that we had him out there on the field as well, that hard work was always noticed, and you can see the improvements that he made. Anytime that we had a practice player that was going up against Keegan, if they took any time off, he was always quick to meg them or do anything to embarrass them. And I was really happy, Keegan, to see all the improvements that you did make. And I don't want to see you give up on the support. So congratulations on your first year. All right, now I'd like to have Quentin Rosenberger. Quentin was a nice addition to our team this year with all of his athleticism and hard work. It was often in the downtimes of practice that I would find him working out with another teammate or an upperclassman on how he can improve on his ball handling tips or anything necessary in order to get better at the sport. He was always willing to do the hard work. Even when mistakes were made or some comments could be made, being that you always played midfield, you're in the spotlight all the time. And regardless of any mistake or comments that were made, you never did lose heart, and you never let it discourage you. I thought one of your best games was our final game against the Lions, and what many may not know is that you would have finished third for our team in assists with 3. So congratulations on a great season and a first-year level. Good job, Quentin. All right, now I'd like to call Adam Bennett. Bennett worked as our utility man this season. He filled in wherever I needed him, which is incredibly important when you only have 12 and 13 guys. Whenever we had that empty puzzle piece to fill, Bennett seemed to always master it well. Definitely showed whenever we had Dylan Shar miss some time through 2 different injuries, which we'll talk about later. And your sophomore year, I really saw some nice improvements. I think kind of matching where you're at now compared to other people that I have seen and the amount of improvements that they have made, really an important piece. And like I said, just your knowledge of the game really paid off for us this year, and it was a huge help, whether it was defense or midfield, and maybe even a few times in forward. So congratulations on a great year and on your first letter winner for soccer. All right, now I'd like to call Dylan Shar. Dylan Shar was hit with some bad luck, I would say, this year. I know last year as a freshman he was dying to get out onto the field. And so when the season began, you always saw that energy and the excitement to be out on the field. And first week off for 10 days, you were out due to being in close contact with students who did test positive with COVID. And then the second stint to the injured reserve list would have been kind of more of a freak accident in practice. But you worked through each injury. And whenever you were out there on the field, your communication skills greatly helped. You really did show the knowledge of the game, and that helped so much on that defensive So anytime you're out there, it was a huge help to the middle of our defense. And I want to congratulate you on a great year and your first year letter. John. All right, John Pesta. The exciting thing to notice with John is just his knowledge of the game. We often at times have played him on that midfield line, whether it be defensive mid or center mid, which is kind of, it can be viewed a little bit as the point guard. And he always had that great knowledge on when to help and push up more on offense, and also showed the knowledge on anticipating when to get back and help out more on defense. And I know the experience that you gained this season will definitely help you in years to come. Congratulations on your first year letter, John Pesta. All right, now my last first year letter winner would be Andrew Steffen. Andrew is not here today. Andrew helped us out again on that midfield, or I'm sorry, not on the midfield, but as a center defender, helping support both Nick and Justin on the outside. I know whenever Dylan was injured, we did a little bit of a rotation or a switch with who we had playing in the center. And Andrew would never complain and was always quick to take those roles, and did really show much more aggressive and improvement throughout the year. I think you could see that tentativeness of the freshman was starting to leave, and all of the experience that he had this year as a sophomore, I know will greatly pay off in the years to come. So I want to congratulate Andrew Steffen on his first year letter winner. All right, now Lawson Irwin. Lawson probably knows that we had our frustrations at times, but that's always because as coaches, you always see the potential and you want to get the most out of you can with every kid. It's always true. It's always true, as I just said, that if the harder that you might be, it's the amount of potential that you do see. I always want to see the best for each and every one of you. What I want you to know is just how skilled you are, Lawson. Keep the confidence up. There's so much skills that you do have, and I don't want to see you getting down on yourself at all. It's really incredible what you were able to do as a sophomore. You finished second on our team with goals with 10, second in assists with 7. Congrats on your second year letter. All right, now Dennis Linhart. Dennis, I'm not sure if I've ever had a kid take quite as much crap as you did throughout the year. And I know, Dennis, that you have your mischievous ways of giving it right back. I do know that. But what I want to highlight is despite negative comments or whatever we could always say, it never seemed that you took a play off. You always gave 100%, even if it wasn't always receiving the ball. Never had to question any effort that you were making. And just your love and your spirit for the game is such a blast to be around. I know it rubs off on the players and for us coaches. I always appreciate the joy and the smile that you bring to this team, and also with what you're doing out there on the field. Much of this year we had you at striker, and then had later in the season moved him more to the midfield line. And again, Dennis was gracious with that. A lot of kids don't like to move from that forward or striker position. And Dennis never questioned it and finished our season with goals. He was third on our team in goals with 8. So congratulations on your third year letter. Good job, Dennis. Gus is not here as he attends Buckeye. Gus joined our team after we had a couple games into the season, and I'm incredibly thankful that he did. Having him on the field greatly enhanced what we were able to do. We were able to move some people a little bit outside of a defensive position and get more into an attack, and Gus's involvement really balanced our team well. And even despite missing conditioning and everything else that Gus did miss, he had so much fire, and I know that he gave everything that he had out there on the field, and he wanted to support you guys and have as great of a season as you guys could. Showed a lot of selflessness, and for all of that, I really appreciate everything that Gus was able to do for us. I hope that teammates recognize how you played and appreciate you guys for playing. Congratulations on being a third-year letter winner. All right, now for our four-year letter winners, I'm going to call Nick Bernier first. Nick, it's been great having you these past 4 years. We've had fun, and some of that fun was watching you as a big freshman take contact, and always being one of the last ones, though, to get up. It always cracked me up when I think back to those of how many times I was like, get up, Nick, get up. This year, I don't think you had anybody that really did want to tangle with you, or the 13 size shoes that took out so many of my cones this year. I loved having you on all of these teams, your knowledge of the game, your communication as a senior back there on the defensive line, I can't say enough about. And I wish you the best moving forward. Congratulations on a great 4 years and for being a 4-year letter winner. Nick. Next, I'd like to call Justin Thompson.
Yes, Justin. Yeah.
Justin was the other anchor to our defense. I felt that he really improved and showed a lot of confidence, and that helped him be more of an aggressive defender with the attack on the ball or on any opponent. And I also felt that your passing really improved before maybe wanting to get rid of the ball very fast. Justin showed a lot more of the knowledge again on looking up and finding his center midfield help, whether that be Jake or Gus or Lawson. And I know that Nick might have had a little bit more action coming down his side, but I also think that was because nobody wanted to tangle with Justin on the other. So, Justin, thank you for all of your grit that you brought. I know that there was a lot of plays when you knew contact was probably going to be involved, and you get another injury that you have to play through, but it didn't make you hesitate at all. You always gave everything for the team. Congratulations, Justin, on being a 4-year letter winner. Right now, I'd like to call Evan Meek.
Yeah, Evan.
Evan kept us in the game so much with his goalkeeping. There are a lot of times where, and I hope others are able to recognize this, a lot of the shots that he had seen, many of those, they would be goals in a high school match. We were very fortunate to have Evan in goal and able to come up with some of those saves. And I also thought Evan did make a nice improvement this year by being more of a coach on the field. Evan, I could hope that continues to improve. I will say that. I think there's still room for improvement. But it was a great improvement that you did make, and you're definitely going to be missed from this team, and kind of that leadership captain position that the goalkeeping position brings with it. You handled all of that really well, and we're going to miss you. Congratulations, Evan, on being a 4-year letter winner. All right, now I'd I'd like to call Jake Ford.
That's my dad.
It's been fun to be able to watch Jake these past 4 years. We've definitely had our frustrating seasons, but it was fun to be able to see all of that start to build and kind of come together this 4th year. With Jake being able to run our offense, people having a greater understanding of where to be, and just a little bit of better support there. It was fun to watch you control the field. It is the best way for me to say it. You were easily the captain. I know you had a lot of people looking up to you this season, and you handled that role. You knew that you'd have to play into that this year as a senior, and you embraced it and you handled it very, very, very well. Jake also led us in goals with 13 and led us in assists with 8. Congratulations, Jake, on being a 4-year letter winner. Best way to do this is you all can take your seat very quickly. Yeah, you did. You did. All right. Next, I'd like to go over our postseason awards. We'll combine both our EBC honors and our East District award winners. I'm going to call them both up. And as you guys have your name called, you can come up. Coach Knotts will hand you out your certificates, and you can stay up here on the stage real briefly here. All right, so first team for East District, as well as for our conference, Jacob Ford and Evan Meek. For our second team, EBC and East District, Dennis Linhart and Lawson Irwin. For our EBC honors for honorable mention, as well as East District, I have Gus Pesta, Justin Thompson, Nick Vernier. You can also come up. You are our honorable mention for our East District as well. District and EBC honors for this 2020 season. Congratulations, guys. All right. Years past, I've always avoided the trophies or real heavy into the individual honors. I've always liked to just have it be the EBC and East District awards. But a few of the guys convinced me this year that we were going to do that. And so we do have our individual awards this year. I might not have picked the actual titles that a lot of them were winning, but Coach Knotts had some, we both kind of had some fun with this. And so the first award that I would like to give out is the HP Award. And I'll have Evan Meek come on up. Evan. The HP Award HP would stand for hell of a play. Like I said, there were many, many times this year where Evan had come up with saves that I would say are above average for a high school goalkeeper. And it kept us in many games, even if there were some games that we had lost, such as East Liverpool. You had many saves that were above, or many games that were above 10 saves a game, and a lot of them had a lot of difficulty. And so, like I said, it's a hell of a play. You had many of them. You earned our HP award for the 2020 season. Good job, Evan. Now we're going to have Justin Thompson come up for the Warrior Heart Award. I feel that for Justin, it's obvious on the Warrior Heart. He always gave everything that he had, regardless of injuries, or if play would involve contact, or that would give him a new injury. Didn't matter what it was, Justin was going to get the job done. In truth, you could probably say he was actually heartless. Like I said, he would do anything for the team. He was incredibly unselfish. Defense and everything that involved was always the forefront from him. He's a warrior out on the field. Congratulations, Justin, on earning the Warrior Heart Award. Now for my Field General Award. This is for somebody with the title makes it sound. You controlled the whole field, and it was where the whole offense or defense really flowed through you. I'd like to call Jacob Ford. Jacob, I felt the Field General Award was extremely fitting for him. He used his vision and ball skills and knowledge of the game to both lead our attack and help out on defense. His soccer IQ has always stood out for the 4 years that he's been with this team. And this year, I was really impressed with how his leadership came through. I know that he wanted that role, wanted to be the leader on the team, and had people looking up to him, and I felt that he managed that extremely well. We can go over stats, but I really appreciated, Jake, how you commanded your leadership role. Congratulations, Jake, on a great season and earning the Field General Award. All right, now for my 110% award, I want to call Dennis Linhart. For Dennis, I again felt that he might have had a little bit of your negative, a lot of pressure on him, but he never gave up. He always was given 110%. And what I respected from Dennis is that it didn't matter. It didn't matter what others were saying. I think for the most part, he always blocked it out. And he'd go for every 50-50 ball that was available. Or again, if another player was going to take contact with a defender, you embraced it. You also, whenever it came to position changes, there wasn't any negative comments that I heard back. You were gracious with the position change to midfield. And so I want to congratulate you for always giving 110% and earning the 110% award. Good job, Dennis. And lastly now, or I'm sorry, not last, but the Well Played Award. I'd like to have Lawson Irwin come up. For me, Lawson earned the Well Played Award for how well all the skills that he possessed. He can have everything, whereas a striker, which I do believe he probably has a little bit more experience in that position, but for played ball. So I thought, Lawson, you very much earned the Well Played Award. Congratulations, Lawson. All right, and now for my last award, we have the Comeback Player of the Year. This one I felt was kind of easy to give, and that's going to go to Gus Pesta. Gus, as I said, joined us once the season had already started. He played through a lack of conditioning. I know that he would admit to me that that was a struggle to get through, and I know that probably by the end of the year had some strains from that, but you'd never know it. Gus, always like Dennis, had played 110%, and worked through everything. He would do anything to help this team, fairly unselfish, and so I wanted to give the Comeback Player of the Year award to Gus Pesta. Congratulations, you guys. You guys are welcome to have a seat real quick. Now what I would like to do, this is really, with me not being in the school anymore, the easiest time for me to do this. And it's not something that really comes easy. This past season was my last season coaching the high school soccer team. You guys were an absolute blast to be around. I know it's almost cliche, but there is so much more that I think I learned from you guys than what I was able to teach you, although I do hope that I was able to give you some life skills as well as some soccer knowledge. 4 years ago, Mr. Eddie was looking for a boys soccer coach. I will admit that I think I turned him down at least 2 or 3 times before finally taking that job. It would have been in July. A lot of the other coaches were already getting together, already practicing, but I wanted to throw in soccer. I do care a lot about this sport. There was a lot that it did for me whenever I was a student here. And so I told Mr. Eddie, I'll give you 1 year. Keep looking for that coach. I'll fill in this year for you. What would happen is once I got around you guys, I fell in love with it. I had the postseason meeting with Mr. Eddie in 2016 and said, I'll be back. I want to come back. I don't want to give this up. And as the years tick by, you guys always gave me your best. That's always what I appreciated. We would have our seasons in 2016. That'd be you seniors. That was your freshman year. There were many games that we were not even competing in. But what I did know is that we were trying. We were always trying our best. And so for you seniors, I really appreciate that. I can promise you that in all of these 4 years, I've always tried the best that I can. I think that if you have been with me for multiple years, unless this was your freshman year, I want you to take pride in how we have built, how we have improved each and every season. I can think back to what would be you seniors, your sophomore season. I can't tell you who the opponent was, but you guys, it was starting to look a little bit different. And I always look back on that when the page turned. I remember Coach Portland and I kind of looked at each other and said, hey, we're playing soccer now. And when you fast forward now, not only were we just playing soccer, not only competing, now we're winning. Now we were actually beating opponents with that 8-7-1 record that we were able to have this past season. And so for that, I again just want to thank you guys for all the hard work that you've put in. You've made all of that possible. It really has nothing to do with any coach. You guys listened and you had the desire to win and to improve. And I want you to take pride in all of those accomplishments. And I want everybody to be excited about the future. So even if you're not a senior, you are coming back, I want you guys to just keep improving. You have the skills. You know from this season how to win, and keep at it. And encourage others to join. I know we have people on this team that before anything in high school, they might not have played or played very little before. I think you'd be surprised in how many people that we are able to build and improve with the sport, and especially off of that 8-7-1 record. For your seniors, it's been great coaching you guys these last 4 years. One thing that I hope that you will be encouraged to do, I'd love to see you guys get involved with soccer in some way. If that's Ron does a little, I know, does a really good job with the youth team here, or the youth program, I should say. He's always looking for referees. If you guys want to get into refereeing at either that level or even high school, or maybe coaching sometime, or getting back into the program. I know you have that passion. Each four of you guys do a really good job. I just want to thank everybody for this season, for the 4 years that I've been with many of you, or 3 or 2. It's been great. This decision is not easy to make. But I think as a coach, you can kind of evaluate where things are at. I always want to give 100% to you whenever I'm at a practice or at a game. And if not that was ever an issue, but things might be in a point where it's a little bit harder, but I can guarantee that. And if that's the case, then I always want the best for you guys, and I'm not worried at all where this program is. I'm excited to see where we're looking here in the future. So congratulations, you guys, on a great year.